The Employee Retention Credit from the IRS is the last major COVID relief program. Claim up to $26,000 for each employee you had on payroll. This is Marty Stewart with Disaster Loan Advisors. The IRS tax refund is newfound money for your business. Let us help you navigate the ERC program with flexible options and working together. You can relax and have peace of mind that you're in good hands. Stay safe, stay compliant, and keep more of your refund. Take the next step and schedule a free ERC consultation call with us today.
5 ways to calculate the Employee Retention Credit. Here are the top 5 ways to calculate the Employee Retention Tax Credit. 1. How to calculate Employee Retention Credit. Calculating the Employee Retention Credit is simple yet complicated. All you need is to understand its ways of calculation minutely. Businesses are eligible to claim credit for both the years 2020 and 2021. In 2020, the credit was increased to 50% of eligible employees paid in a year after March 12, 2020, and before January 1, 2021. Any employers with a maximum of $10,000 wages were eligible. Similarly, for 2021, the retention credit is capped at 70% of qualified employers from January 1, 2021 to December 31, 2021. However, the maximum credit is allowed up to $10,000 a credit, so an employer can claim a total credit of $28,000 for the year 2021. Employee Retention Credit. How to calculate. From disasterloanadvisors.com shared this strategy to calculate the ERC. 2. Calculating the Employee Retention Credit. For 2020, the Employee Retention Credit is equal to 50% of qualified employee wages paid in a calendar quarter. The credit applies to wages paid after March 12, 2020 and before January 1, 2021. Eligible wages per employee max out at $10,000, so the maximum credit for eligible wages paid to any employee during 2020 is $5,000. For 2021, the Employee Retention Credit is equal to 70% of qualified employee wages paid in a calendar quarter. Eligible wages per employee max out at $10,000 per calendar quarter in 2021, so the maximum credit for eligible wages paid to any employee during 2021 is $28,000. The calculations can be tricky. Our tax credit estimator above takes care of the estimation for you. Here's what you need to do. 1. Confirm whether you had employees at some point in 2020 or 2021. 2. Establish whether you experienced a qualifying closure. 3. Compare business revenue in 2019 to the period for which ERC is claimed. 4. Enter qualified wages and health plan expenses paid during the period for which you qualify. 5. Learn more about your estimated Employee Retention Credit. How to calculate the Employee Retention Credit from QuickBooks.Intuit.com shared these tips to calculate the ERTC. 3. Employee Retention Credit Calculation. A simple example can be one of the easiest approaches to illustrate this credit estimation. However, you should still consult with your accountant before determining the appropriate ERC calculation for your situation. In this sample, let's assume your business has fewer than 500 employees. Gross receipts test Q1 2021 $80,000, 2019 $140,000. Percent obtained 60.0%. Gross receipts test Q2 2021 $85,000, 2019 $140,000. Percent obtained 63.3%. This business will surely qualify for the ERC 2021 program in both Q1 and Q2 if its gross receipts for each quarter in 2021 are less than 80% of what they were in 2019. RecognizeApp.com shared this form to calculate the ERC on Employee Retention Credit Calculation. How to calculate. 4. How do I calculate the ERC? The 2021 COVID-19 Employee Retention Credit is equal to 70% of qualified wages. The maximum amount of qualified wages for any one employee per quarter is limited to $10,000, including qualified health plan expenses, with maximum credit for a quarter with respect to any employee of $7,000 for a total credit of $28,000 per employee for the calendar year 2021. This strategy to calculate the ERC came from TaxThompsonReuters.com's Employee Retention Credit. 5. What wages qualify when calculating the retention credit? Wages, compensation in general, that are subject to FICA taxes, as well as qualified health expenses qualify when calculating the Employee Retention Credit. These must have been paid after March 12, 2020 and qualify for the credit if paid through Sept. 30, 2021. Recovery startup businesses have until DEC. 31, 2021. Remember, the credit can only be taken on wages that are not forgiven or expected to be forgiven under PPP. When determining the qualified health expenses, the IRS has multiple ways of calculating them depending on circumstances. Generally, they include the employer and employee per tax portion and not any after-tax amounts. Paychex.com shared this strategy to calculate the ERC, and the Employee Retention Tax Credit program has closed, but businesses can retroactively claim credit.
As you can see, navigating the Employee Retention Credit Program is very complex and confusing to try to figure it out on your own. Even on the IRS ERC FAQ pages, it says this page is not current. There have been several years of updates and changes to this IRS tax credit already, including 4 congressional acts and 5 updated guidances from the IRS, totaling over 3,900 pages. Who has time to sift through all that information, let alone decipher some of the confusing language and rulings? In order to stay compliant with current IRS ERC rules and regulations, expert specialized help is highly recommended. Even if your business received an SBA PPP loan, you are still eligible for the ERC credit. If you think you may not qualify, it's worth a conversation to see if your business does. Let us assist you with a complete employee retention credit process, or if you might be stuck on filling out the IRS 941X forms correctly on your own. We are here to help. Stay safe, stay compliant, keep more of your refund. Email us at support@disasterloanadvisors.com or call us toll-free at 877-463-9777 extension 3. Or visit us on the web at www.disasterloanadvisors.com/ERC for complete details on the Employee Retention Credit Program for your business.